The question for today is, what is the evidence that is telling us and allowing us to conclude that acetaminophen use in susceptible babies and children is causing many, if not most, cases of autism? So I think when we look at all this evidence, there's 20 lines total that we published. There's an additional 21st line that we've done a video about but not yet published. It's best just to sort of break it down and look at each individual line of evidence. And today we'll do the first two. So they're not in any particular chronological order. I think they're more in kind of a logical order. So this all started with our first line of evidence. And when I say this, it's our awareness of this problem. A dentist named Stephen Schultz gave his son an MMR vaccine, and his son got very sick and regressed into autism. So he wondered what happened, what is going on here. He quit his dentistry practice, went to the University of California, and got his PhD looking at the issue. And what he found is that people that have a child who has a bad reaction, adverse reaction to a vaccine, and then they give them acetaminophen are much more likely, about 4 times more likely, to have regressive autism than people who have a child and give them the vaccine without any acetaminophen. So what this is telling us is that it's not the vaccine, which we know from other studies, but it's the acetaminophen given with the vaccine. His story is available online. You can download the book for free to learn what happened with his son, who's now an adult. So that's our first line of evidence, looking at regressive autism, or autism that happens after some development has been achieved, but then that development is lost. Now, the next line of evidence is really looking at the other kind of autism, what's called infantile autism. So Ann Bauer had a suspicion that there's something going on with circumcision and autism. There's some kind of connection there, but nobody was really sure. So 2 scientists, Frisch and Simonson, decided to take a look and, hey, let's examine this giant data set called the Danish National Birth Cohort and see, is there a connection between circumcision and autism? Now, circumcision is a minor surgical procedure typically done right at the time of birth when children are super susceptible to acetaminophen. And unfortunately, even though it's been proven not to work, the drug doesn't work for the pain of circumcision. The drug is very frequently given for circumcision pain. What they found was a 2-fold increase, and they think this is the underestimation based on limitations in their study, a 2-fold increase in infantile autism with circumcision. An incredible amount of autism just from that one surgical procedure, again associated with acetaminophen. So you've got 2 very, very different medical procedures, vaccination, circumcision, both associated with autism. When acetaminophen is used, that's the only common denominator, is the acetaminophen. So those are only our first 2 lines of evidence out of 20 total that's published, 21 total in all.